going on, let's get you a check going on the February auto sales numbers. Let's take a look at what Motown was up to in the month of February. When you take a look at Hyundai, of course, you did have the domestic sales come in at 47,000 thereabout. And when you take a look at M&M, of course, you did have SUV numbers coming in with an uptick of 19%. As far as the total volumes were concerned, as you can see on your screens, an uptick of 15% coming in as far as M&M was concerned for the month of February. Let's also take a very quick look at Tata Motors, because you did see quite the decline coming in on a year-on-year basis, 9% decline coming in for the PV sales for Tata Motors. And when you take a look at CV sales as well, 7% decline coming in there as well. And on an overall basis, a downtick of 9% was what you saw coming in for Tata Motors as well. So largely, those are the kind of numbers that you have. Of course, for Escorts Kubota, there was tractor volumes that grew by 11.4%. And let's also go ahead and decode what all of this means in terms of all of these numbers and how they also compare against the kind of expectations that we had. We have Ashwin Patil, who's the head of fundamental research at LKP, joining us. Ashwin, thank you so much for taking time out and joining us. Firstly, I wanted to ask you, what's your first take when it comes to the numbers? What is your read-through initially when it comes to the numbers, in line with the kind of expectations that were being penciled in?
I would say that we all know that February is a truncated month, and therefore, one has to look at the year-on-year numbers definitely, because January had 3 more extra days, and the YOY comparison would give us the right picture. So, coming on to different companies which have come out with their February numbers. First of all, I would say that M&M has been, one of the best performer in the month, with SUV sales as well as growing at a very good rate. I mean, we have seen that generally, February is a month slightly, not as great as January, but, still this February has posted very good set of numbers. SUV sales as well as tractor sales. SUV sales, we know that, they have come out with a couple of new EV launches, the B6 and XUV9. So, they have started, adding a good number to the top line of the total volume, as well as the existing family of SUVs like the Thar, the Scorpio family, the XUV families, all those are also performing well. So on and on, I think M&M has been one of the best performers of February. Also on the tractor side, we have seen that there were no unseasonal rains this year till now, and the Rabi sowing has been great. Even the Kharif output has been good. So for the tractor sales, even for Escorts Kubota, we have seen a good rise in the tractor sales. So we can say that the tractor industry is on an up move now. And then moving to Hyundai, I think Hyundai and Tata Motors both have posted softer numbers. Tata Motors, in fact, has posted decline both on their PV as well as CV sales. We think that for CV, still, there is some time for the CV sector to move up. But considering the good capex outlay as well as the infrastructure outlay that the government has projected for this year in the union budget, I think CV numbers should show a good, slight recovery from FY26. So this year, I think, has been a not great year for commercial vehicles. And also for the passenger vehicles, if we see, there's a lot of competition for the companies like Tata Motors and Hyundai, etc. Hyundai has come out with their EV Creta, and they have got a good order book as well. So I think the coming month, Hyundai should post a good set of numbers. But for Tata Motors, there's some sort of competition. We know that, for their passenger vehicles, the SUVs have been performing good, but that segment is heated up because that's the best performing sector within the auto industry. So I think there's some sort of competition for Tata Motors. So we'll be waiting for Maruti numbers as well to see what kind of numbers they come out with, because we know that in the lower segment there is still a lot of pain. But on the SUV side, the segment has been doing good. So we'll have to wait and watch what kind of numbers on the SUV side Maruti comes out with.
Ashwin, we'll wait by for some of those numbers that are yet to trickle in. But since you've mentioned tractor demand and tractor volumes, I just wanted to quickly ask you about rural demand as well, Because as you've pointed out, Escorts Kubota has had an uptake for their tractor volumes. When do you expect rural demand then roaring back to life? Is that something that you're seeing play out, you think, or is it something that you see a story that is developing at this point?
Yes, I would definitely say that because the Q3 numbers, which all these companies have come out, even the FMCG companies and the tractor companies, auto companies, everybody has said that the rural demand has been really very good. It is much better than the urban demand, at least 3 to 4% higher kind of demand we are seeing on the rural side. And that has been really, helping the tractor demand and also the two-wheeler numbers. I mean, we have to wait for the two-wheeler numbers. No one has come out with the numbers yet. So I think Hero MotoCorp, Bajaj Auto, TVS, all will be coming out with good numbers. I think this month. Because the rural uptick, mainly it will be impacting positively Hero MotoCorp, because we are seeing a good demand on the rural side, much better than the urban side. So, the rural demand is definitely going to impact the tractor as well as two-wheeler demand, because we know that the reservoir levels are quite high at this point in time. Also, we had a good monsoon last year. As I said earlier, the Rabi sowing has been good, Kharif output has been good. So the MSPs are on and up move. So I think yes, definitely we can see much better demand on the rural side than urban.
Ashwin, so that's the picture as far as rural demand then is concerned. But I also wanted to understand, against the backdrop of heightened competition, Tesla opening its first store in Mumbai's BKC as well, good order book for Hyundai, like you've mentioned. How do you reckon all of this is going to be panning out in terms of the competitive landscape? How do you see that panning out for auto majors except Tata Motors? Because that you've talked about. But other than that, for the rest of the auto players, what do you pencil in at this point?
See, as you said, Tesla has opened their first outlet here in Mumbai, but Tesla won't be giving a direct competition to the likes of M&M and Tata Motors, because Tesla will be in the higher ultra premium kind of segment on the SUV side, where none of these companies are present. So it will be opening a new market as altogether. So though the stocks have reacted to this news, but that was a earlier, that was a knee-jerk reaction, considering that it may impact all the PV OEMs. But I would say that that won't impact them completely. I mean, like it won't be a like-to-like comparison with Tesla for these players. But as far as the heating the competition of within the PV segment, I would say that definitely, with Mahindra and Mahindra getting very, very aggressive with the EV launches, as well as they have got a huge array of ICE as well as EVs. On the SUV side, we can see the likes of Maruti Suzuki, Tata Motors, as well as Hyundai feeling some sort of pain, because Hyundai has come out with their Creta. The Creta, as well as they are electrifying other models as well. So Hyundai may feel the pain up to some extent, but others like Maruti may see some sort of pain, because we are knowing that about 40% of their volumes are coming from the small car segment, where the demand is really very lackluster. So I think Maruti may feel the pain much more than other players like Hyundai. But for Tata Motors, definitely some sort of, it will be like similar mode as Maruti Suzuki.
Well, absolutely. Thanks, Ashwin, for joining us and helping us understand not just the competitive landscape, but also what these numbers mean, what is being penciled in as well. Thank you so much for taking time out and joining us.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.